Welcome to the Friday vlog here at the Order of Eden. Today we're going to be talking about some of my synthesis thoughts. And if that doesn't make much sense to you, it still may not by the end of the video, but if you haven't seen my last few vlogs, then it definitely won't make much sense to you. But basically, and this is going to take a slightly different turn than I anticipated. Basically, I started a 3-vlog series that was supposed to be the awesome stuff about this technological world that we live in, awesome stuff about primitive existence, and then the best way to synthesize these two things, the best way to blend this great age of technology with some of our more natural roots that just kind of make us human. So, with the tech video, everything I love about tech, my points were that I love technology for the information, for the connection, and for the freedom. Okay, and I said that I loved primitive existence for the physicality, for the poetic reasoning, and for the silence. And if these don't make sense to you, I would probably encourage you to go back and watch those videos. You don't have to, because this video is not going to be the video that I thought it was going to be. I expected to just give you one plain video on, what I thought a good combining of these two elements was, and it was going to be scripted and just like kind of like a normal video. But then I was having trouble doing that. I was having trouble coming up with the necessary things for that. So I was actually going to just not do a video, just skip this Friday vlog, but I figured I've been wildly inconsistent enough. I took a month off in the early summer and then missed a week right after I came back from my hiatus. So I decided, no, even if I don't have exactly what I was expecting, I'd still do a video, and I'll let you know a few things. So I do want to be consistent with the videos. I want to redouble my efforts with getting videos out, and I just want to redouble my efforts with the Order of Eden in general. I've gone back and forth a lot on what the channel could be, what it should be, what it will be, and I think I'm at a point now where I want to see if I can push it a little further, and in order to do that, I'll have to start doing some things differently with the channel, with my life, with social media. So I'm not entirely sure what it's going to look like, but I'm excited to see where it's going to go. So here's why I wasn't going to do a video on this topic right now. I was going to give it a week and try to come at it next Friday, but here's why I wasn't going to do a video. Here's why I wasn't able to put one together the way I expected. I realized it was just too big of a topic to do a video on. So with the ideas of technological life and primitive life, coming up with, a 5-minute video talking about how to blend these two in modern life and how to walk forward in life with a good, holistic, healthy view that combines technology and natural life. Man, that's a big topic, and to do it well, that shouldn't just be a rushed script and a 5-minute video. So I thought it would be better to actually explore these ideas, because I did the 3-part series that was supposed to happen. I wanted to do that because the subject really fascinated me, and not just as an area of general research. It fascinated me for my life, because that's sort of what I'm living. I'm someone who really has my foot heavily in both camps. I like the extreme high-tech ends of technology, and I love the extremely primitive, earthly, primitive existence. Very eloquently said, I know. But I was thinking, man, to actually forge a path forward between those two things and living out a life that really is holistic and pays respect to where we came from and where we're going, yeah, that's something I actually want to explore. Like, that's actually something I'm really fascinated by. So, I thought it would be better to actually kind of carve out my idea of a path and really explore these ideas. So my plan is more to, instead of making a quick video, like something 5 minutes long where I just say, oh, here are some cool things to think about, and, you know, maybe try going camping. Go camping, I mean, sure, why not? Camping's the best. So instead of just like a quick video with a few basic points here and there, I think I'm going to take the opportunity to actually try to live out the best ways to blend high-tech and primitive existence, and actually try to start like implementing some of these things in my life and experiment with them. Because honestly, a reason not to make the synthesis video is because it's probably really arrogant of me to even think that, oh yeah, I know off the top of my head how to blend technology and the natural world. That's not true. Otherwise, I'd be living a much more holistic life. I'd already have that path that I'm walking. But why not dig into these ideas and experiment with my life and kind of take you along for the ride? And you can, you know, if these are things you enjoy, then you can pick and choose from the experiments that I'm doing. Most people, just the way their lives are set up, they don't have a lot of freedom to do major experiments, to take trips, to rearrange their whole schedule, to rearrange their life in pursuit of, you know, the perfect fit for them. But I can do that. I have a lot of freedom for a lot of different reasons. So I'm perfectly happy to experiment to make my life better. And if you can take pieces of that to make your life better too, awesome. So I think I'm going to experiment and take you along for the ride. That's my hope for it. This isn't just me saying, okay, I'm just gonna not do the synthesis video and do some experiments over the next few months. Here are some of the things that I thought of when I was looking at technology versus primitive existence. So if I had to pick one, I think technology, if I had to pick between tech and primitive, technology is the thing that is encroaching on our lives as 21st century Americans. I assume everyone in my audience is American. I don't know. Of my, 12 viewers, who knows? As Americans, as people in the 21st century, technology is the thing that is stealing a lot more of our time. I rarely hear someone say, man, you know what, I spent too much time walking in the woods this week. I spent too much time around a fire with friends. I couldn't get to, Facebook. It's like, no, I spent so much time watching TV, watching scrolling through social media that, man, I got nothing done this weekend. I was just, binging The Office, which, awesome. I'm guilty of all these things. So, technology is the thing that is encroaching, but it shouldn't be pushed away. I firmly believe that. So, I see a need for a concerted, if you actually want to balance technology and more human endeavors, I think there needs to be a concerted effort for balance. It's not just going to happen. If anything's just going to happen, I think at this point it's going to be technology that sort of takes over our lives. Because even, I'm still kind of mostly off social media except to post stuff mostly related to this channel. I'm not really on social media much these days. And even when I am, I've noticed, it has a numbing effect, and I think that says a lot. So you can imagine someone who comes home from a long day of work, eats dinner, and then they kind of have a few drinks, and that's how they just kind of forget about the day. That's how they numb themselves until they go to sleep. But I think social media does the exact same thing. The more I've been away from it, when I do scroll through Instagram, because it's just pictures and there's nothing there that makes me angry, just the simple scrolling process really detaches your brain from anything that's actually happening around you. So I think, and we could heavily dig into the dopamine and the neurobiology involved, and I probably will in some video. We've talked about it a little bit before. Yeah, I think like the cell phone is a new addiction. You know, if someone is addicted to drugs or alcohol, we would want them to get help because they're ruining their lives. And social media, it can steal hours and hours of every single day of your life, yet we're not really recognizing it as a problem. It's not as bad for your health as drugs or alcohol, but it steals your time, it steals life. So, sorry, bit of a tangent on what is already sort of like a tangential by nature video. I'm saying I think we need a concerted effort, a solid effort for balance, because if we just kind of let life happen, the addictive nature of technology, that's what's going to take over. Someone who's an addict needs to make a concerted effort for sobriety, because if they just let happen what's going to happen, then they're going to have troubles. So we need a concerted effort for balance, and I think balance should actually probably be imbalanced toward nature and natural things and primitive existence. And feel free to disagree. Like, please, if you think that's wrong, give me the exceptions where that's the case. I think the balance should be imbalanced towards nature. I think finding this synthesis is going to require excursions away from civilization. Like I said, camping. I plan to do a whole lot more camping coming up, as long as the state parks are still open. And something I want to explore, I think, especially for myself, I think we need to use technology like a scalpel. It needs to be a quick surgical instrument that's used for a specific purpose and not just a ubiquitous presence in our lives. I compare it to this. So if I'm trying to lose weight, I tend to go for a more paleo or keto type diet. And I say, you know, if I'm eating well, then my mindset is, well, justify the carbohydrates. If I'm not going to run like 6 miles, which I never would do, or if I'm not going to do like a heavy bout of weightlifting, why do I need these carbs in my diet? Why do I need breads and grains and sugar? Why do I need that if I'm not trying to restore glycogen stores? That may not have made sense to some people, but sort of justifying my technology use and like, okay, I was on Facebook today to post an Order of Eden video, not because I was sitting there for an hour scrolling through looking at political comments. So yeah, using tech like a scalpel, like a really precise tool to be used and then put back on the table. I think the synthesis between tech and modern life will require a lot of exercise and diet just to keep even your insides, your neurochemistry, your emotions, your mindfulness, just everything in check. Without a good diet or exercise, I don't think that's possible. I'll probably talk about minimalism and simplicity, though those sort of overlap, but I think they're two different things that are helpful and needed. I want to explore a little bit of helpful things with. So I talked about poetic thinking with the primitive points. I talked about poetic reasoning as being something that I loved about primitive existence. So I think exploring a little bit of poetry, mythology, spirituality in general. I think with trying to blend these two things, getting back to the Order of Eden's original purpose of creating, of being the divine image bearers of God in creating order from chaos like he does at the beginning of Genesis. And if that doesn't make sense, my video like back in January about like what is the Order of Eden, I kind of cover the theological grounds for that. So getting back to the ideas of us actually creating things, creating new things, creating order, creating art, all sorts of stuff. And getting back to a sense of purpose, I think will really help blend, again, what we have been in the past, what is fundamental to humanity, and where we're going with technology. A real sense of purpose will help put all these things in place. So that was sort of just like a long rambling list. But these are the things that I want to explore. These are the things that I would, as I'm seeking, you see, I get pulled in two directions. I love ultra futuristic, high-tech things. If any of you have heard me talk about the Cybertruck, I love what Tesla's doing. I like things like, like your cyberpunk genre that is just ultra futuristic. I love the extremes of high tech, and I'm also extremely just drawn to peace and simplicity and nature and primitive minimalism and all sorts of things. So this long list that I sort of rambled on about, these are the things that I think I would like to explore and experiment with, and hopefully use this vlog in a good way, not only for my life to make these experiments a concerted effort, a planned thing, but I hope that, you probably won't resonate with all of them. There are some people watching this who will, probably just not like camping, and I'll probably end up doing a handful of videos out camping in the middle of the woods somewhere. So not everything's going to resonate with everyone, but hopefully there are things that are at the very least entertaining, but then maybe things that you can actually pick and choose, and whatever goes with your life best. And I'm going to have different weaknesses and inclinations and things that just don't bother me that are going to be different for you. So it's all going to be different, but these are the things that I was thinking of with a synthesis video. So it's not really going to be a synthesis video. I think it's just going to be a direction for my life and for this channel that I think, nothing's going to change on the end of, you're still going to get Monday devotionals, Wednesday lessons, even though we're finishing up our church history segment. Whether it's the vlogs, whether it's more vlogs, I want to actually get back to using social media for good things and for, again, these precise scalpel-like things actually having a significant purpose for why I'm using social media. And we'll see where it goes. So that's what I'm thinking. In order to synthesize technological future and technological present, really, and primitive past, I think it's going to take a lot. I think it's going to take a lot of thought and experimentation, and I hope you enjoy the ride, and I hope it does what it's intended to. So, sort of a long, rambly video. Hopefully it made some sense, but either way, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.